Hey everybody! So, I got today a fun video, okay? I want to feature four amazing Miami fans in this video. These four are going in the clowning box, and it's going to be great. So, I have, this is obviously just four Miami fans is really a drop in the bucket kind of what, the clownery that's been going on at Miami. But I thought these four were worth talking about, and this is going to be really funny. So, without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. Number one, okay, is this guy Scoop on the U. Okay, so this kind of went down on Twitter, and for those of you that aren't on Twitter, you're missing out. Okay, lots of drama over there, lots of Miami fans melting down, and lots of trolling that we've been doing. The Georgia Tech community, that we've been having fun with them. So, you're missing out if you're not on Twitter, and if you are on Twitter, I need you to give our man Scoop on the U a shout out, because this guy, what a loser. So I posted our DMs here. This guy reached out to me, okay? He commented on one of my posts. He said, hey, I want you to DM me. So I'm like, okay, sure. This was 2 weeks ago. This was September 28th. Note, it was before the Bowling Green game. I said, what's up? He said, what's going on, bro? I wanted to ask you if you would do a game preview of the Georgia Tech-Miami game for next week. We talk about the game, and yeah. And I said, yeah, that sounds good. Thanks for reaching out. I hadn't seen your channel before. And he said, yeah, we do shows midweek. He collaborates with other content creators, kind of like Coop, kind of like I did with Coop, the Inside Insight, except worse. Coops does it way better, just so you know. And I said, just let me know when you want to do it. I'm down to collab. I love collaborating with people. Don't take this the wrong way. If you're somebody who, wants to collab with Sea-Dog, I'm totally down to collab with everybody. And, I'm like, yeah, when do you want to do it? He says, how about Tuesday at 9 p.m.? I said, sure. Okay. Well, it gets to Tuesday at 9 p.m. He says he's going to send me the link closer to invite, and he pretty much ghosts me. So I get a text from Rec Talk, and I text him because turns out he had contacted Rec Talk to do the same thing. Fine, that's fine. And I was like, hey, Rec Talk, have you heard from this guy? He said, yeah, he wanted to reschedule. So apparently he wanted to reschedule for the next day. I said, so I reached back out to him because I hadn't heard from him, and I'm like, hey, you want to reschedule? You want to reschedule for today? This was the next day, Wednesday. He says, hey, thanks for reaching out. I was going to do a bunch of shows for the Georgia Tech game, but the loss to Bowling Green ruined all the hype to start conference play, honestly. And I'm like, okay. Okay. So that's what went down. So this guy basically thought that, Miami was so untouchable and the Yellow Jackets were so pitiful and horrible, that he didn't even really need to bother doing a preview with Sea-Dog, even though he had asked me. And that's pretty disrespectful, to be honest. I mean, I had made time to do a show with this guy, and he, he totally goes to me and then hits me with that. So, mind you, this guy reached out to me first. So, after the game, okay, I will say this. Look, I started it. I poked the bear. However, it was pretty harmless. I mean, come on. Look, this is so funny. Like, what am I supposed to do? Sit on this? I don't have that much self-control. Am I supposed to keep this to myself? So I post the DMs on Twitter. So I did start it. I brought it on myself. I poked the Scoop on the U guy. Kicked him while he was down. Of course, his freaking Canes took a freaking whooping and lost in embarrassing fashion in my Jackets. So probably pissed him off even more. But I posted these DMs, and I said, I thought about not posting this because I don't really know the guy, but, this is just too funny. You deserve to get clowned for this one, my man. Big Bad Miami doesn't have time for the pitiful little Yellow Jackets. Okay, I didn't say anything about how it was, rude of him to cancel on me or anything like that. I just thought it was funny, the irony of him not wanting to do a show with me, because he thought the game would be lame because we lost to Bowling Green, and then we win. That's all it was. Just a little fun banter. This dude freaking melts down. Okay, and he texted me. He responds here in the comment section. He says, "This is pretty weird. You posted DMs." Okay, I will agree. I felt a little iffy about it too. But again, like, what am I supposed to do? Keep this to myself? Like, I just had to talk about this. Seems like you are very upset I chose another YouTuber over you, who does a much better job than you. At the end of the day, I stand by my decision not to have unprofessional on my platform. Now, I don't give a rat's patootie about being on your channel, sir. You reached out to me, okay? I don't care less if I'm on your freaking channel. I mean, hello? Okay, and that's great. You picked Rec Talk over me. I mean, yeah, Rec Talk's more buttoned up than me. That's fine. He tries to backtrack and say that he chose not to have me on because I'm unprofessional. Well, yeah, I'm an idiot freaking redneck hollering into my phone on YouTube. If you didn't want to do a freaking video with me because I'm unprofessional, don't reach out in the first place. Okay? I'm not, there wasn't anything that happened between the time he reached out and the time he canceled on me that was like a red flag, I don't think. I mean, I just do my thing. I've been doing it for 3 years. Everybody knows who I am and what type of content I make. So, I mean, that's on you, man. That's on you. But I respond. Well, it's even funnier that he puts up this guise of being some kind of professional. You guys tell me, does this sound like a professional? I don't know.
Like, literally, like, fuck off. Yeah, I'm cursing. The fuck you gonna do? I'm pissed. We just lost to the shittiest football team I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, so he comes on after the loss, cussing and crying about losing to the pitiful Yellow Jackets, but claims to be professional. That doesn't seem very professional to me. And I said that, and I said, you know what's also professional is unprofessional is freaking ghosting somebody, okay, and then canceling the plans that you asked for. I didn't ask to come on your channel, okay. I was taking time out of my schedule to talk to you, and you spat in my face. You deserve the L, is what I said. And so he says, and so to that he says, yep, he's mad. Rec Talk does a much better job than you. He's extremely knowledgeable. You're more like a trailer park. It's just there, and nobody wants to live there or associate with trailer trash. So, okay, I love Rec Talk. Everybody knows that Rec Talk's one of my best friends. Like, that dude is awesome. So, yes, he's great. He's professional. Hey, look. I can clean up too, though. I've been on plenty of shows. I go on Mark Rogers' channel. I can clean up, and I'm not always hooping and hollering. If somebody professional asks me, to go on a show, I'm capable of going on there without making an ass of myself. I know I can read a room, but thanks. I'm just as knowledgeable as Rec Talk. I mean, maybe not in astrophysics, but when it comes to Georgia Tech football, I'm just as knowledgeable as Rec Talk. But I love, obviously I love Rec Talk. That's my guy right there. But, this guy brings him into it. It's like, okay. Look, I don't blame you if you choose Rec Talk over me, but don't freaking bother me about reaching out, about making plans then, if you're just going to cancel, douche. And anyway, I didn't respond to that. I actually responded to our buddy Pinecone, who we'll refer to later in this video. Don't worry. Pinecone chimes in. He says, you should have reached out to me. Now, shout out to Pinecone. I'll do a video of Pinecone any day. And Pinecone knows what's up. He knows you got to keep it about football trash talk, okay? This guy is so triggered. He goes for the personal shots. That's how you know that you have lost an argument, or the other person has lost the argument, is when they start going personal. That's like the #1 rule of football trash talking on YouTube that we go by. You don't get personal, okay? When you can't when you can't win an argument based on football facts, that's when you start attacking the person. And he goes on and on about this trailer park trash thing. He starts bragging about how he He's in Boston on work for a QBR. That is known as a quarter business review. He's saying how broke I am, and how rich he is. And I had to let him know, like, yeah, I don't pretend to be an ESPN analyst and then come on cussing and crying when my team gets embarrassed, okay? I do that, but I don't pretend like I'm some kind of professional and then turn around and do that. And, it's just, I say you think that your team is better than everyone else, but you're not, okay? And that false sense of superiority is what got you beat on the field and in this comment section too, you clown, okay? So this freaking guy obviously thinks he's better than everybody else. That's the funny thing, is that these Miami fans just think they're better, and they're not. They're not, okay? Miami is they think that their program is so far ahead of everybody else or competing with the big boys. They're not. They're not. They suck, okay? And this guy sucks too. So scoop on the U. And actual, okay, the rest of the guys I'm going to talk about here aren't as bad as this guy. This guy is just a complete and total clown, and also an asshole. You don't get personal talking about calling me trailer trash and stuff. I do happen to live in a camper right now, but I got a house, just so you know. It's just under construction, so in a temporary situation while my house is being built. But thanks for that. I'll just be trailer trash. I don't even care. Like, I'm a redneck, whatever. I don't care. But it's just, what a dick move to go personal like that. Okay. All right, moving on. I've got Coach Coop next. Coach Coop. What? Now, some of you are probably saying, well, Dog, Coach Coop's great. How can you trash talk him? I'm not going to. I freaking love Coach Coop, and I have nothing but praises to sing for him. I'm going to let his video play in the background just because it's funny. So I got to give him a little hell. I got to give him a little bit of hell. But no, Coach Coop is great. It's not even Coach Coop specifically I want to talk about. It's his fans. It's his fan base. He has to. I've watched Coach Coop for a few years now, and it is sad what this guy has to put up with. He has to talk to his fans like they're 6 years old. Because that's their mindset. He has to like dumb things down and explain things in like the simplest term to his fans, who will turn on him for not predicting Miami to go 15-0 every year. Like, Coach Coop predicted this game to be 34-20, which was a really good prediction in hindsight, wasn't it? It was. That's probably how Miami should have won. He didn't have these sky-high expectations. Dude, he predicted them to win by 14 points, and Miami fans eviscerated him for that. They tore his ass up all week for only predicting Miami to win by 14. And he's right all the time. He predicted them to go 7-5. They tore him up for that. He's right all the time. And he's even a little higher on Miami than like a normal person would be. And it's like, I don't understand how Coach Coop functions without going insane. I really don't get it. He's, bless his heart. I don't know how I just don't get how he's still, not lost his mind. Here's the great part of the video. He like busts his keyboard up. He's talking about the typers. Yeah, he has to put up with typers from other teams and typers from his own teams, man. Y'all need to leave Coop alone. Look, you've driven this man to insanity. Look at him. You've driven him to insanity. He's busting up his keyboards and stuff. Man, leave Coop alone. He's right. Some of you Miami fans could take a note from him, okay? He has reasonable expectations. He's like a normal person that happens to be a Miami fan. Okay, and he's like the only normal person in a group of maniacs. He's like a normal person that got accidentally placed in a mental hospital, and I don't envy him. So shout out to you, Coach Coop. I freaking love you, man. You're the best, and we collaborated and stuff. Freaking love Coach Coop. Can't sing that guy's praises enough. All right, moving on. We have our third. Our third boy here, Timothy Johnson. This is another funny sequence from Twitter. So, like I said, if you're missing out if you're not on Twitter, I'll make this a tick bigger here. Timothy Johnson apparently was this guy. He's like a boomer looking guy. You can kind of see his little picture here. He's like a boomer, and you can tell by the way he like types. It's just funny. But apparently he was talking trash about Georgia Tech or something, and you can see the comment here. And I guess DJ Moore, which is one of our receivers, liked his reply. So he called us the yellow jackoffs. And DJ Moore, one of our receivers, he's actually hurt. He hasn't played this year, which sucks because I freaking love DJ Moore. I heard he was such a beast in camp, and I was looking forward to him playing. And I met his dad. Shout out to him, too. But I guess he liked his reply, and so he's like gloating about it on here. He mentioned this for days in comment section. He says, more foul out from the game. Georgia Tech player DJ Moore liking my tweets making fun of Georgia Tech football from before the game. Kid is probably upset he didn't rack up a single stat, didn't even get his name on the box score. Must have been mad after riding the bench. Well, yeah, he's got a broke arm or something. We didn't get any update from the coaching staff, but he has his arm in a sling on the sidelines. So obviously he's not mad about riding the bench. But so this freaking guy gloated for days. This is just so funny. He gloated for days about having DJ Moore like his post, and DJ Moore himself replies here and says, the like on the post was an accident. Trying to like a reply one of our fans said to the post. Nice try, though. I love my team and our fans. Go Jackets. I had to give him a heart. I love DJ Moore, dude. I can't wait to see him get back and healthy. And it is so funny, man. It's so funny. He says it happens. Rather, I'll forgive you for misunderstanding, but consider Miami when you hit the transfer portal this spring. DJ Moore's not leaving. He's sticking around. This is great, though. It's just really funny. It's just really funny how crazy this old guy is. And then also something that cracked me up I thought was worth mentioning is he says, emergency update, Miami versus Georgia Tech reaction article up now. Miami was robbed by refs and sabotaged by coaches. But Canes fans, don't panic. We're still on the CFP track. You gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be kidding me. This is how delusional Miami fans are. And this guy has no excuse. He is a sports writer. He's a sports writer. And talking about the Canes going to the Natty. That was ridiculous in the preseason. That was ridiculous throughout the season, even after they started out 4-0. And that's ridiculous, even more ridiculous now. What a joke. CFP? God dang. You'd be lucky to make a bowl. Man. So this guy cracked me up. Old-looking guy. I don't know. It was funny. And then I was scrolling through his profile and noticed this. This is funny. He's blocked by Kirk Herbstreit, too. So I just thought I'd throw that in there because that's funny. But yeah, this guy, I followed him. I followed him for all weekend of him gloating about that DJ Moore thing, and it just cracked me up. This is just an old freaking boomer, and he's a totally delusional Miami fan, and it's really funny. All right, last up is our boy Pinecone. Let me move myself over here actually because I'm blocking Pinecone's little face here. So I'm gonna react to Pinecone reacting to me. It's gonna be a little reaction-ception here because Pinecone unfortunately didn't see it fit to film a trash talk video on Georgia Tech. All he does is trash talk Georgia Tech, and he didn't see it fit to do that this week. Like every other Miami fan and the team, overlooked Georgia Tech, didn't think it fit. However, I do have some sort of receipts because he reacted to my schedule prediction. Yes, he reacted to my schedule prediction in the beginning of the season, where I was just minding my own business, predicting Tech's schedule and just telling my honest thoughts about the season coming up. And some of it wound up being completely wrong. Some of it wound up being prophetic. And our boy Pinecone here reacted to it, and it's funny going back and looking at it. So let's see what Pinecone had to say.
Hammer gang. We always hit the nail on the head. So check this out, my Miami.
I got it in double speed just for the interest of time. This video's gone on long enough, so let's just see what Pinecone had to say.
Hurricane fans. My Miami Hurricane fans. I never thought in my wildest days of doing YouTube that I would actually have to do a hit piece on Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. Normally I talk about Florida State. I talk about Clemson, North Carolina, you know, and some of them other teams that, you know, we slip around and lose to every now and then. But
yeah. Miami fans, it's so funny. They liken themselves to think that they're on the level of Clemson and Florida State and, you know, and whatever other teams he was talking about. So they're always talking about them, but reality is you're on the level of Georgia Tech. You're not on the level of those other teams. And you play them all this year, and you're going to lose to them all. You're losing at least. You're going 7-5 at best this year. At best, that's if you handle business against the crappy teams. Okay, so this is funny to me. Miami fans are so they think they're up here, and the reality of that is so far below what they think. That's why we're having such a meltdown this past week. So
I never really had a reason to talk about Georgia Tech for no reason specific. They're not good. They're not good. Now let me tell you guys, this guy right here, C-Dog. Don't bump his head. Absolutely bump his head. Definitely bump his head. Now, I don't know if it happened when he was a child or it happened before he made this video. More than likely before he made this video. So, Georgia Tech is supposed to beat Miami in 2023. Man. Guys. Let's just react to this. Let's just react to this. I know it's probably a waste of my time, but I'm going to react to it anyway.
I don't even know what to
Somebody
say.
told me not to watch it. Just react. So, they want to see my real reaction. So, I haven't watched it. I'm just going to react. They gave me timestamp. They said around 15 minutes. So, we're going to do this. We're going to react. Now, guys, before I get into this, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Please and thank you.
Hit the like
Please and thank
button.
you in advance.
Subscribe to Pinecone. He's good people. And Pinecone, shout out to him, knows how to trash talk. He might not be that good at it, but he at least doesn't go personal with it. I'll do a video with Pinecone any day. He's good people. Bless his heart, he just cheers for the Canes, and he's one of these delusional Canes fans that just doesn't know it, just doesn't know what's good for him.
Bad luck on you. You might get a flat tire tomorrow or something like that. That's tough. Okay, so let's just dive into this.
Really dwell on that. We're going to beat them. Then we got an interesting road game against Miami. Now, we really do go in there and play Miami good at their stadium. It's a road game for both teams here, of course. Georgia Tech goes on the road down to Miami. Miami has to go on the road to their own stadium, from Coral Gables, of course, to the Dolphins Stadium.
The typical Miami ain't got their own stadium joke. It never gets old for these other fans. They ain't got nothing else
It never gets old.
better to say. They really don't. These bottom feeder teams don't have nothing better to say.
That is not true. That is not true. I threw that funny little stadium joke in there, but that is not the only thing I can make fun of Miami about. Trust me. There's plenty more. It's just funny. There's plenty I can make fun of Miami for, such as losing to Georgia Tech and not knowing how to take a knee, and quite a lot of other things, wasting talent, and the laughing stock of the college football world and everything like that. The U is back, and everything like that every year. There's plenty to make fun of Miami about. But I just threw that in there just because it is funny. It is funny.
You go toe-to-toe with Florida State and the Gators and Clemson and all of them. Teams that actually are good.
Toe-to-toe with Florida State, he says, coming off of when they got blown out. What was it, like 43-3 or something last year?
That's toe-to-toe. Don't brag about or remember, but Georgia Tech. If you're going to go to Georgia Tech, you're not going to go to watch football. If you end up at a Georgia Tech game, more than likely you're there to look at the Peaches, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't there to watch no football. Because they don't play football at Georgia Tech. Winning football, at least. Who's the last player you remember from Georgia Tech other than Megatron? Who?
You're going to remember Haynes King for a while, I think.
Because they don't have their
I think you'll remember him.
It's my opinion that whoever is the home team in this situation has the freaking disadvantage because these teams play good at home.
Yeah, let's talk about playing good at home. We went to your house last year with one of our worst teams put together ever. One of the worst teams Miami had ever. We were getting blown out by Duke, Pitt, Florida State, Middle Tennessee. And yet we traveled to your stadium, not our stadium, your stadium, and beat you 35-14. One of our worst teams ever. But man, it's going to get better.
That's tough. They did. Unfortunately for Pinecone, just because you beat us last year doesn't mean you beat us this year. That's tough. And you beat us last year, by the way, on our third string quarterback. So turns out I was correct about that.
For Georgia Tech this year.
That's a tradition that I'm hoping that we break this year. Okay. So here's the thing with Miami. Are they more talented than us? Yes.
Yes.
However, Mario Cristobal teams I have observed when he was at Oregon.
Here we go. The hit pieces on Mario when he was at Oregon.
The hit pieces on Mario at Oregon. Oh man, what? How can we hold against Mario his mistakes at Oregon? Surely he learned from them.
Third.
Okay, you can beat Mario Cristobal
Surely.
teams even though they've got all the talent in the world. We saw this at Mario's last year there at Oregon when they played Utah twice in the same year, and Utah beat the snot out of them twice, both times, and it was the exact same result every time because Utah was better coached and tougher than they were. Even though they had all this talent, you can beat Miami or Mario Cristobal coached teams if you're.
Listen, I don't give a crap about Utah. I don't give a crap about Oregon. Y'all miss-
Look, I know he doesn't give a crap about Utah and Oregon. However, Mario, same coach he was at Oregon. And instead of Utah, I should have been comparing it to Stanford, apparently, because he did the same thing in that game and lost to Stanford a few years ago. The same exact way he just lost to Georgia Tech. So that really, really cracks me up. Obviously, he thought that Mario was magically some kind of amazingly better coach since he came from Oregon to Miami. But Miami fans should have known what they were getting. They should have known what they were getting. Okay, Mario's a great recruiter. Everybody knows that. Bad in-game coach, bad decision making. His teams are soft. What I mean, listen to what I'm saying here. It's prophetic. I was 100% right. And Pinecone goes on and on about how wrong I was. It's hilarious.
With all that, talk about that all you want. Mario's history at Oregon, Mario history versus Utah. I don't care.
Tougher than them. Okay, he leans a lot on his talent to win, and in the future, I think that, that's good enough to beat a lot of people. But in the future, if you are a well-coached, tough team and you out physical them, you can beat them, no matter how freaking talented they are. That's just what Mario Cristobal has shown.
Yep.
So the question is here: are we going to be tough enough in year one?
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're gonna talk about your recruiting in a minute, but I just want you to get all this out.
Yeah.
Full year one of Brent Key.
Yeah, so he talks about our recruiting, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm gonna cut it off before he does talk about that. It's just funny because he does talk about the recruiting, and yes, Georgia Tech has worse players talent wise. We have a lot less talented roster. So guess what? We were tougher. We played better. We were better coached.
That we're going to be tough enough to take Miami and out physical them, like I was saying.
Y'all hear this shit? Georgia Tech is gonna out physical Miami. Now, obviously, this guy's living in the Manny Diaz era because obviously you don't see the culture that's brewing up here in Miami. But it's cool. Some people, sometimes you get arrested for laws.
Hey, this team is unrecognizable for Manny Diaz.
That you didn't know. He don't know.
Miami Manny Diaz teams were better.
They have a bye week before this game, coming into this game again.
During that bye week, Mario Cristobal and the team, y'all don't even have to prep for this team. We should do more preparation for Miami of Ohio. We should do more preparation for Bethune-Cookman. Hell, we should even do more prep for Temple. But Georgia Tech, easy win, right off.
Sounds like they took Pinecone's advice here. That's what Miami went ahead and took his advice.
Tax refund.
So they get 2 weeks to prepare. Can we? I don't know. It's a tough question. It's a really tough game for me to pick.
It's not a tough question. It's not tough. It's easy. We lose to Miami. That's what you should say. We lose to Miami. It's easy. It's not tough. It's tough.
Here.
That's tough.
I think
That's tough.
I'm going to pick us to win here. I just.
Sad.
Sad. So sad. So sad. It is sad. Pinecone had to get you back for this one. He went ahead and terrorized me on my video. I'm just minding my own Sea Dog business, predicting our schedule here, and he comes along and terrorizes me. So I had to get him back for that one. That's tough. Anyway, I just had to clown. These freaking Miami fans, man. It's just too funny. They're all making fools of themselves, and it really cracks me up, and it's great. I'm having a great time, and this is just great. It's great. So, let me throw that thing down. Goodness gracious. I can't stand Miami. It couldn't make me happier that they freaking lost this game and to my Jackets, and they just had no idea it was coming. And to be honest, a lot of people didn't. But they just think that they're so much better than they are, and it makes the meltdown all the more severe when it happens, and they just don't see it coming every year when they should. So, will they ever learn? No. They've been going through this year after year after year after year. Miami's back. The U's back. We're back on the track. We're going to win the Natty every year, and it never gets better. And Pinecone is one of the worst perpetuators of this thing. So, what else can I say? But that's tough. Go Jackets. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and down with the U.